putting moving expenses on a credit card? Why?
It depends on the moving situation. If it's like something serious, absolutely. If it's like a serious like roommate situation, you know, like I had to do that recently last year.
Well,
so
let's hear what you consider serious. Because if someone's in a domestic abuse situation, put the on a credit card.
Yeah, like just like toxic,
See, that's different. That is very different.
Yeah.
A toxic situation to you, who again, you aren't able to do something slightly inconvenient, but you're able to go do everything you want that requires work. So, yeah, what was toxic to you?
So the relationship
Because I feel like your level of toxicity is like.
No, the girl that I live with, me and her were just very vastly different with our lives and our lifestyles, and she just wanted silence, and I like music and whatnot, and like so I always try to keep the peace, but I felt like I lived in a like I was in a shell. It was stupid.
Emergency move, lady.
But then we got into
I can listen to music. Oh, what the world am I living in right now?
There's more to it.
Someone nuke Clearwater.
I wish. No, so it got worse and worse, and then it kind of had a blowout moment after like 4 years of living together because...
Yeah, congratulations, you had an argument. I've had arguments with roommates too, and guess what? One of them is still my best friend, and I heard to be my number 2
It might have been more physical. So, so I had to get out of that situation, I did.
You have to get out of it if it's like an endless thing. If you guys blew up and you guys put yourself to that limit, that is a different story. You're humans. Humans sometimes get pushed to that limit, and it fucking sucks. And I'm not saying it, but if you went at her, she went at you, that is not a great situation. That doesn't mean it is a reoccurring thing that is like a fucking... It sounds like you guys push yourself to the limits. You're a fucking adults. Listen, if everyone quit their jobs when they got on a spat, every dude that worked on the line just 50 years ago, none of them would be working there, okay? Because everyone gets pushed to the limit at some point. We live very cushy lives now. So it's like, something like that is very dramatic, and I get it, but it's not like you walked in and she was fucking beating you every day, was it? No, you guys just pushed yourself to the limits, and you backed off, and you guys should have kept your separate spaces, and then we have more adult conversations. That doesn't mean it's a credit card situation.
I wish. She was just, like, our walls were touching with the bedrooms. We had a separate floor plan.
Living with somebody is not an emergency.
It was just a toxic situation with her. So
but again, your level of toxic is, you are pretending like it is something more dramatic than it is. I'm not saying you shouldn't move. I'm saying you're making it sound like it was a domestic abuse situation, and it's that level of critical move. No, it wasn't. You were two people that lived together. You pushed each other's buttons so much that you got physical and she got physical, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So no, off.
So why would you want to live in that situation and live like a hermit? So that's why.
But it is not equal to a situation where the building is going to collapse. You are bringing that. This is the nuance level that the internet has completely lost. Everything is immediate code red. Boom, boom, boom. The world's going crazy. Someone, I don't know. Lindsay says like fucking the word or something, and people act like she just went on a mass genocide. Like there's no nuance on the internet anymore. Like everything immediately goes to level 10. Everything's an emergency. That's not an emergency. Did you move out the next day?
No, it was about a month later.
There we go. So you were able to survive for a month without
getting into... I had to find a place and have it ready and everything.
Yeah, but you were able to survive a month without all of a sudden you stabbing her in the neck.
I was scared that was going to happen to me in my sleep.
No, you weren't, though. You probably were because, again, you push everything to level 10.
Because
if I talked to her right now, what would she say?
That we were both crazy.
Yes.
But she was the...
And I've had crazy moments with people. We all have. I'm not trying to say you shouldn't live there.
Yeah.
You should have gotten a new place, yes. But that is not a nuclear level emergency.
I felt like it would have escalated to a point of...
Maybe. Maybe. I'm just pushing back only because I just know where our culture is right now and how people get there and how you have defined every conversation so far of like going to school. We can't do, even though it's slightly inconvenient, but we're not willing to face that slightly inconvenience, but the slight inconvenience of traveling and having to budget for a concert all the way out in Austin from Florida, you're able to do. So it's obviously the choices. You use it as a way to get yourself your own apartment. I mean, I think I'm reading the situation correctly. I'm going to get a little pushback, and that's okay because, some people have had different experiences, and that's fine. We can agree to disagree. But just based on the conversation I had with you, like, I don't want to lock you in a box, but I know how your worldview works, if we're being completely honest.
Could you explain that to me?
I just did for like 10 minutes.
Can you sum it up a little shorter?
Anything that is slightly inconvenient to you is a no-go, but if something is inconvenient that you want to do is a total go. You limit yourself in this world in every instance whatsoever, and you blame your mental health for it, and you sit there and you think about your mental health forever, and you let it define your entire life, and you fall down these rabbit holes, and guess what? Every little thing that is slightly bad in this world, and don't get me wrong, having a physical altercation is bad, but everything you do, it immediately goes to level 10. Boom, it is the worst thing. We must figure out something crazy. We must go to the most insane levels necessary in our life in order to get out of that, because everything is a level 10 bad. We're going to a class on Monday. I'm anxious, level 10 bad. It is everything gets there. And people in that worldview never get anywhere. They live a very unhealthy life. They have no nuance. It's not good.
Yeah. So I went back to school last semester and I failed 2 of the 3 classes, and then I had
but
to get...
I bet you still went to raves.
I did.
I bet you still went to raves.
I did.
Yeah, so no sympathy.
Yeah, because the online thing doesn't help me out a lot. I have to be like in person.
I bet it doesn't. I'm better in person too.
Yeah.
Since I know that, I do it like an adult.
Yeah,
If you're able to go to raves and travel everywhere and f*** around endlessly, then you can go to a classroom. You already have ADA accommodations, okay?
Yeah.
Okay? You have...
I had to file appeals.
We've put things in measure for you. Take advantage of them.
Yeah. I tried. So I requested the accommodations, and then I was able to get them. So I was able to pass one of the classes online. The other 2, I failed. That was the second time I took those.
Don't go into a class until you know what the accommodations might be.
Yeah.
Sit down with an advisor. There are people willing to help in every instance in life.
I did. I have my accommodation letters and everything. So what happened was, so since I failed, I had to file an appeal with the school to take the class for the 3rd time for 2 of the classes, because I failed them twice, because I'm not great at math and things like that. And I'm not, so that's a big thing as well. Math is very, very difficult for me, as you can see.
This isn't math, this is behavior. Buying a great outfit for a festival on a credit card.
I've done it.
But we can't go to a classroom. Great.
It's just for summer classes.
Who hit who first? Be honest with me. Who hit who first?
Oh, she did. She pushed me, and then I had to...
Pushed is different. Who hit who first?
Me. It was in the face shove.
Yes, if you guys are in each other's faces, someone might naturally push. And then you were physical first.
My natural reaction
there we go.
is...
so now I have, this is even level 10. His, what I thought was a level 7, you thought was a level 10, is now down to a level 5 because you were the one who went crazy.
She's the one that went crazy first and touched me first.
You were in her face, and so she pushed you out of her face.
No, she came into my face and shoved me.
And I'm sure you got closer. Listen, I don't know.
Of course, because I made contact.
2 sides of every story.
Absolutely.
If I call her, what will she say about that exact question?
I don't know what her perception of that would have been. But she did that. But she said she probably would have been like, I pushed her back and she took it the wrong way. But you don't put your hands on nobody. You don't touch anybody. I come from the hood.
On her.
I come from the hood side, so I can't.
You come from the hood, says grandma. Okay.
Well, I come from Broward County, Florida, so I just...
It means nothing to me.